Hi everyone, it's Danduw 3D. Today, I'm doing a little walkthrough from start to finish of how I make a jumper. It's going to go through blocking out, and then actual high poly, and then maybe some retopology, and then maybe texturing. I'll do the full shebang if I can. I might have to split it up into parts, but yeah, we'll start. I'm a bit worried about doing this because I think realistically a lot of you guys making characters are not making it to a little sausage man like the one I'm doing. In my case, I'm making clothing for a really cool game and the character does look like this. So there's not as much anatomy available to kind of conform around. It's more cylindery. Although, I think it's a good basis for a tutorial just to show just vaguely where you should be putting wrinkles. And I think a lot of the things that I'm talking about, especially at the Zbrush stage, I think can be easily transferable to literally any character, any anatomy that you're doing. So it should be fine. So I'm going to start with the block out. This looks bad. My model is ready! Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, no, we're getting there. Okay, I'm already starting to like these folds. What do you think? Put in the description below. What do you think? I think that looks nice. Yeah? I think my cat's meowing. Yeah. Yes! Yes! That looks awesome! Yes! Yes! Okay. Let's call this loose jumper. Block out. I can see my cat like running around the kitchen. Okay, that's done. Alright, now I'm gonna export it. Okay, well, this is going to be part 1, I think. Or at least chapter 1. Chapter 1, okay? Yeah, I need to hook up my Wacom, and also I need to get food. So this is going to be the break interlude bit. How long have I been going for? 20 minutes, 28 minutes. It took me half an hour to do a fucking block out. Slow! I want to say one thing before going into Zbrush, because I need to set up my Wacom as well. Your scene might look like this. Nah. And do you know, I had a conversation with someone recently where they said, I don't understand how to use Zbrush. Why is it so convoluted how to use it? And I was like, well, what's your problem? And they're like, oh, well, sometimes the scene just messes up and I don't know how to fix it. And I'm like, oh, all you have to do is go document, new document, no, drag out, edit. And they went, that's too hard. I'm like, what do you mean? That's so easy! It's like 2 seconds. I don't know why everyone is so upset with Zbrush. I think Zbrush is like the most easiest software to use. I will say, first time I used it, I hated it. I hated Zbrush with such a fiery passion. Because I made like, I'll see if I can find it, I'll show it on screen now. That's my first Zbrush sculpt ever. And I was really angry and I hated it and it pissed me off. But now, I think it's so easy to use. I love it all. Also, like, I don't know. People worry about like the viewport thing. Like, everyone's so used to Blender and Maya and like how you move around, but when you get used to it, it's like so fun to use. If you don't agree with me, put in the comments below, Daniel, you're just a ZBrush cuck, okay? Please put that in the comments now, and I will not delete the message for bullying. Also, another thing, go to document, go to range, turn that down to 0, buddy, okay? I'm not having this anymore. I hate looking at people's ZBrushes and they look like this. What is this? I hate this gradient. It hurts my eyes. It's you need a blank background to fully appreciate your ZBrush sculpt. Also, another thing, when you do your BPR renders to do nice, beautiful shots for your boss to look at, go to render, go to BPR shadow, turn up the angle and the blur, and then when you do your next render again, it will look lovely. Look at that. Look how smooth the shadows are. Okay. I'm yawning. I go to the exact same Subway every few days, and I get the exact same order. And it's hit a point now where I go in there, and they go, "Oh, hi, Daniel. Do you want that?" And they'll say, "Then I don't want to say it because I'm worried somehow someone can like geolocate where I am based off of the Subway that I choose. I don't know." But like, I always get this very specific one. I'll call it the Daniel Special. I'll walk in, they'll go, "Oh, you getting the Daniel Special today?" And I'll go, "Yeah, I am." Every time. It's really cool. Also really sad. I just really like Subway. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit, and I'm gonna end the recording and then start again in a second. Bye. Wait, one more thing as well is I'm gonna edit this, but maybe also I'll just release this 30-minute long video for people that really want to just watch every bit of the video. I don't know. We'll see. All right, bye. Hey, I'm back. I had a Subway. And I'm all fed. I had some drink, and I'm very excited to do some sculpting. So let's start working. So I'm going to subdivide a few times. I'm going to start bringing these pieces out. Okay, I'm happy with how that looks. So, what I'd say when I start sculpting, my biggest thing I do is I just focus on like one arm. Oh, that's another thing. I'm so bad at explaining myself. So, I hate when people do that. I hate symmetry. I hate it. Like, I get it. It makes it much easier to do. You can just be like, "Oh, I want to add a sculpt," and then like half of the work is already done. Cool, yeah, but think about this. No, because clothing is very asymmetrical. Believe it or not, the same way a face is asymmetrical. Obviously, you can't say much about the sausage man because it's pretty symmetrical. But like, when you're thinking of realistic clothing, their folds aren't going to be exactly the same on the other arm. And also, from another perspective, a learning perspective, I think it's good to focus on not trying to, like make your life a slightly bit harder by doing this. It's like, do you know when you see people draw like a beautiful eye? And just like, do you know when people do like this amazing eye? Oh my god. And then they're like, "Oh fuck, I have to do another eye." And then they just do this. Because they're like, "Oh, it's too much effort to do the same amount of detail." It's pretty much that, and you've just got to do it. You've got to brute force through it. So I know how I want to approach the folds, but I'll get a good reference up so you maybe know the direction I'm going with. I have a kind of a problem with using references like this for folds. This one's slightly better. I love this picture. Whoa! Why is it so low quality? But you can kind of see it. This guy, that's cool. Oh, there we go. That looks awesome. That one's slightly good. Okay, this is a great example of a good and a bad one. Okay, so I'll show you this one. So, thank you. So, that one's kind of okay. Yeah, like this one, for example. when you're doing clothing for games specifically, the use case of a lot of clothing is it's going to move, right? In film, a lot of the time you sim the clothing, you simulate the clothing so wrinkles can happen real time. I mean, not real time, but it can be like rendered out and like it can wrinkle when it needs to when the movement's happening. Like let's say they move their arm, this area will get more wrinkly, and then when they move it back, it can go back to more of a neutral pose like this. Games don't have that, and if they do, it's far and thin between. Like you don't see it that much in games. So maybe in the future we'll do sim like films, but for now we're baking the wrinkles down to the actual texture, okay? So you need to kind of find a nice... I love that picture. Why is it so low quality? What the fuck? My internet's fine. You've got to find a middle ground of some wrinkles going on in the middle, as if it's already engaged that kind of that wrinkle when you move the arm inwards. That makes no sense. But like you can kind of see here that having those kind of details there go a long way. I hate why is my computer not enjoying the internet today? Here's a good one. This is quite a nice one. Yeah, like just some interest going on here. Oh, I like how it's edited. Yeah, here we go. Here's a good one. Can I go on this? Can I click on this? Can I have this? No? Okay. Wait. Can I? Yeah, there we go. So most of your wrinklage should be in the inner elbow. Inner elbow. Some nice wrinkles here, where it's kind of like bunched up, and these details here. Already, I'm thinking also about the material itself, because it's so easy to go overboard and do that. Oh, this is one thing. When you're making cloth, you've got to consider how thick the actual fucking cloth is. If you're, especially when you subdivide it crazily like this, if you have a jumper, especially when it's a thick material jumper, and you're doing wrinkles that are like this, like really, this looks terrible either way, but like really thin wrinkles like that, that's not going to look like a nice thick wall. It's just going to look like nylon or just a thinner material that really doesn't sell the material you're going for. Also, another thing, which I can show you now, is standard brush goes a long way, and it's really good, and you can do lots of cool details, and I think most of my work is just using standard brush. I don't really use a lot of snazzy, crazy things, but I feel like what's crazy important is the move tool and the mask tool. I'm going to show you how I can use it. So let's say, in this area here, we're going to create some bunching. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if you have a jumper or a shirt on right now. If you do, it'd be weird if you didn't. If you have a shirt on right now, on your body, you'll see some bunching where the actual cloth folds over the other cloth. And I think with the standard brush, it's kind of harder to emulate that without actually just doing it. So, see here, I'm going to actually fold it over a bit. So it's actually folded over the actual model, and it would just feel a bit more like it's actually a fold. You know, it's so I could have easily just gone like this. I'd be like, oh, there you go. But it just does not have that same impact. I don't know what I'm talking about. Also, you might be asking, why am I not using a Marvelous Designer? So, I like Marvelous Designer. I think it's really good. But I have a bit of a problem with it. I think it's so good for creating really, really cool, realistic detail, like clothing material, of course, right? That's what it's made for. But my issue is it's hard to really direct, like art direct with it. It's really hard to like sit there and go, okay, I want this fold to look this way. And I know there are ways you can do that, and you can be really specific with it if you sit in it long enough. I'm not saying you can't, but on a surface base of using it, like on the simple way of using it, it's very hard to do that compared to actually sculpting folds yourself. Let's say your art director or your boss comes to you, your client goes to you, I don't like how this fold looks. If I'm in Zbrush and someone says, I don't like that you did the fold weird on the shoulder, if I'm using Marvelous, I'm going to be so upset because that means I have to go back to Marvelous rejigger it, re-simulate it, then have to go back into ZBrush, add the detail. Again, I'm sure there's some really like smart way that you can work around that in an efficient way, but like for most people, that's hell. And also, I think it's kind of already quite known that Marvelous can be quite stressful to use. Even if you have like a really good PC, like oh my god, like I have a pretty beefy one, and I still find myself just sitting there crossing my fingers that it's not gonna crash or just completely slow down to a point of not being able to use it all. And again, I'm sure there's gonna be people here. They're gonna be like, "Well, you could do this, and it just makes it so much easier." I know, but also I like ZBrush, so go away. So yeah, you might be noticing here. Literally, all I'm doing is just sculpting in details using the move brush, just to kind of fix up if I don't like the way it's sculpted. Again, I'm gonna go in here and add quite a big fold here, which I'm kind of excited about doing. It's gonna really give it that feeling of, oh, it's all bunched in. Like that. I'm actually gonna bring out quite a lot, smooth it a bit. I feel like it's kind of looking a bit weird. Also, it might look a bit too sharp, so I can use the inflate tool just to kind of, oh god. Yeah. Also, inflate tool's cool for this kind of piece because it's such a fluffy, thick material that is kind of, it gives it that bloated look that looks nice and fits with the material that I'm trying to replicate. Like I was saying before, don't try and make things look thin, the actual folds. I'm just saying stuff now. Just trying to... This is going to be the long bit. I did the block out, and that shit's so frickin' simple. This is going to take a while. So get ready. For anyone that's generally interested in watching me slowly chip away at this for the next how many hours. I am definitely taking my time with it because I just want to make sure I'm not rushing and everything makes sense and you're not going, what? I feel like when I'm in work mode, it's very hard to keep up with what I'm doing because I'm just rushing around like a little crazy man. What was it? I did like a speed sculpt edit where I got one of my models and I just like recorded myself working on it. And I realized very quickly that you just cannot see what I'm doing. Again, because I moved the camera so much. So the video was just this. And like you could, no one, it was just not watchable. It was just not a watchable video. I was so angry. It's not palatable. It's not good. Alright. I'm already starting to like these little foldies. Again, I think it's very easy to get lost in the source of details when you have it crazily high subdivision like this. That's why I like to keep it quite low, just for now, so I can just focus on making those major folds. Ooh, I got an itchy head. Oh my god. Hello everyone, this is Daniel from the future, editing this video. So at this point, I just kind of got really into it, and I didn't have anything to say. I think I tried to say some things, but it just wasn't interesting, or if anything, just very annoying. So I'm just going to talk and watch this with you for the next however long this goes on. I think at this point, this was about like an hour or two of work, what I'm doing now, up until when it finishes. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it looks okay. There's definitely things I want to change, and you'll see by the end of it that, like, I think in the next video, I'll pretty much just be tidying up stuff and adding a bunch of fun details. So get ready for that. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, what was it? I did like a tweet recently off of the back of this trend going around of like what ZBrush brushes people use regularly, and I realized really quickly like people use like fucking like 70% of the brushes. I use like, I'm gonna count it right now. I have the tweet open. I have Ooh, and I lost it. Okay, I'm just kind of talking. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I use like 9, maybe 10 brushes in ZBrush, and there's like so many brushes. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you know what you want and how to use it. Also, listen to this like cowboy music. Yeah, no. So I feel like when you know what you want, you can just use pretty much just those and nothing else, and I'm happy to do that. I really can't be fussed. I know they added the what was it? The cloth hook stuff. Ooh, this song sounds jaunty. Good song choice, Daniel. So yeah, no, there's the cloth hook, cloth inflate, and cloth move, and all that stuff. It's kind of bad. Like they're okay, and I can see why people use them. I used them when I was in uni in like 3rd year. But they're just kind of bad. Like, if you're going to use simulation stuff, just use Marvelous Designer, you know. Like, and also, I get it if you don't have access to Marvelous Designer and you only have ZBrush, I guess it makes sense. But at that point, just learn how to sculpt wrinkles, my friend. And it just always looks a bit weird. And I know you can, like, edit it, and there's, like, a lot of editing stuff you can do in, like, the preferences of it to make it a bit cooler. But, I don't know. Never really enjoyed using it, so I've always stuck with just sculpting myself. Oh yeah, a big question I always get asked on Twitter and in DMs and Discord is like, why don't I use Marvelous Designer more? And I'm editing this. I think I brought it up in the video, but I think just in general, it's really good, but it's just such a hassle. It's such a fucking hassle to use Marvelous Designer sometimes, and like especially when you're just trying to make a piece of clothing with a very specific concept in mind, or like a very specific wrinkle you want. It's really hard to do that in Marvelous. And I know there's going to be Marvelous boys out there that are going to be like, well, no, it's very easy to do, but I just don't find it as fun. And also with the kind of character I'm making, where they're void of any like form, you can't really get away with like that many wrinkles in Marvelous Design. It always just looks very odd. And flat. Like I think some of my previous work I did on a sandbox using Marvelous Designer, you can really tell it just doesn't feel very good. It doesn't. There's no direction to it. Oh, there's the next song. Yeah, I think at this point, when I was doing the inner arm folds, I was starting to really like it. Like I love using the move and mask tool. I think if anything, I use that more than standard brush for getting those major folds. It just always looks nicer. I don't have anything to say. I feel like I'm just filling so you don't feel like you're alone, because you're so codependent and you need someone to be there for you while you watch a video. Yeah. What else can I say? No, I don't have anything. Look how fast I'm going. Oh yeah, another reason why I think I kind of sped past a lot of these videos is because I kind of just went on tangents that were really depressing. One of the tangents I went on was about how like I developed really bad workaholism when I was in uni. And like the most depressing stuff ever. I mean, I can explain it in a more cheery way. Pretty much like when I was in uni, I was so focused on work. I loved work so much, and like I wanted to get really far in the industry, but that by doing that, I kind of like didn't give myself any time to be a human. I didn't really go out. I didn't really hang out with too many people. I definitely dwindled a lot of... is dwindled the right word? I definitely weakened. There you go. I weakened a lot of my friendships and relationships because I was just so focused on work. Which is great, and it's definitely got me places. Like, I definitely pushed myself. But this song's nice. The big issue is that, like, I don't know, I just became obsessed, and, you know, it's done me a lot of good to get me in the position I am now at my age, but, like, realistically, it just, like, made me really sad in uni. So if there's any people out there that are, like, in uni or very much beginners and are, like, really pushing themselves, because I think there's so much, like, inspiration around you of these artists that always go on about being like, yeah, I push myself to the brim of fucking crying every night. I remember there was one concept artist, and I don't know if they were agreeing or disagreeing, but their main point at the time that really got to me when I was in uni was, I wouldn't eat food until I finished a concept art piece. And I remember at the time I was like, whoa, that's so cool, I want to do that. I realised that's like torture. Why would you do that to yourself? So like, you know, push yourself, and I think it's good to really go above and beyond and put in the extra hours more than many people, other people do. But don't do it to the point where you're crying. it's not a good idea. I said that. Obviously, that does sound like quite a depressing conversation. You would not like to hear how I said it in the video. I was pretty much just saying how sad I was in uni. Quite depressing. Yeah. Also, I guess I could just talk about like my experience as a character artist, because I'm still quite early in the industry. Like, I've been in the industry now for about 3 years, which is still quite a bit of time, but a lot less than like a lot of other people. And you know, I've still got so much to learn. Oh my god! Look how! Oh my god! I'm like trying to watch the screen. This is painful to watch. This is not a good video. Oh my god, my eyes hurt. I'm gonna look away and explain, because I feel like I can't concentrate watching me. That's horrible. I forgot what we were talking about. What were we talking about? What was it about? Oh my god, I completely forgot. Oh no. So I'm still quite new to the industry. I forgot to put music here. I completely forgot to put music here. I'm gonna stop the video and put in another song. Hello. Okay, I found another song. I actually found a few songs, so hopefully it won't cut out on me again like that. I'm really new to the industry, and you know, I actually recorded something before this, but I realized I just went on a tangent again. So I'm just gonna like try and break down what I wanted to get across. I think me being new to the industry, I'm naive to probably a lot of what it's like to be maybe a bit more of a veteran to the industry, what it's like to be there for the next 10 or 15 years. Maybe there's some of the challenges that come along, you know. So maybe I can relate to some of the people out here that are still quite new to the industry. And probably my biggest piece of advice that I got given, especially when I was new, like pretty much first day on my job, is that like the second that you try and, because it's so tempting that like your first day of work is to just do an insane amount to the point where like you know, you might have a 9 to 5. No, I'm gonna do a 8 to like 7 or 8. Like, you're just gonna work the whole day. You might, if you're working remote, that's like evil, because then you do even more work because you're not in the office. So you push yourself even more, maybe even up all night till 2 a.m. And I've done that. I've definitely done that before, which is great in theory, because then it makes you look really impressive. It makes you look so cool that you've finished. Like, let's say you had a brief to make a character shirt, like the one I'm doing, and they're like, okay, can you get that done in like a week? Or I know, well, maybe that's a bit too long for a shirt. No, like, let's say, oh, can you get this thing done in like 2 days? And you're like, okay, well, I can get it done in 1 day if I just work till 2 a.m. So you do it, they get really impressed, and they go, oh my god, that's amazing. Let's give you more work. And you're like, wow, that's amazing, they give me more work. So yeah, sure, you get put on more projects, and then they expect more of you, and then you realize very quickly that they've expected you to always be at that exact pace all the fucking time. And I did that to myself a few times, where like I was like, okay, I'm just gonna work, and they're like, okay, we're gonna put this new project. And then if I ever had a down week, like a bad week, God, they'd really push it in my face of like, or I'd be in situations where the higher ups would go, wait, what the fuck? Why are you working so slow? What happened? This is insane how drastic the difference is, which is a shame. So I think, you know, find a good balance. And I think, you know, especially when you start your first job, you probably will work, you know, it's hard. Oh, I'm on ArtStation. What am I doing? Did I forget I was recording? What the fuck am I doing? Cool. All right. Yeah. Great. Okay, back to it. I think, you know, it's very easy to overwork yourself, and I've done it, and it definitely got me places, especially when I was a junior. But, you know, pace yourself, you know. I did say something in my last recording that I thought was really wise. I said, push yourself, but pace yourself. There you go. I gotta be honest, I was actually really pissed off by the end of my last recording, because I was just mumbling and not saying anything. Hopefully this recording is slightly better. But yeah, I feel like I'm just filling the air so you guys aren't on your own while this is speeding past. And maybe also sharing the cringe of how hard this is to actually watch. I'm watching this. This is painful to look at. seeing me just zip past. I don't know how people do it. I know there's a way in ZBrush where you can like record your sculpt. Maybe I should do that next. I don't know, but yeah, there you go. You can see how insane I am with my camera when I'm looking in ZBrush. But yeah, no, I think, you know, with to back on track of clothing. I think that, you know, to get better at clothing, like cloth wrinkles and folds, just keep looking at reference of like the best work out there, and probably my best, because I always get this question from people saying, hey, I love your wrinkles and your clothing folds and stuff, and it's really cool and really inspiring, and you're really awesome, Danduw, I love you. And I go, okay, get to the point, but how do you do it? Like, what resources do you use? What tutorials did you look at when you started off? Unfortunately, there really isn't a specific tutorial I watched. It was more just staring like a Bible. I just stared at the Last of Us 2 and Last of Us 1 clothing and pretty much nothing else. I looked at Raf Grassetti's work on God of War, and just in general the amazing character artwork on God of War and God of War 2 Ragnarok. Like, some of the best sculpting for cloth ever. It's amazing. Same thing with Last of Us 2. Like, just stare at that, look at that for reference. I think the really sad thing about that is that, like, I'm looking at this cloth that I'm doing, and it is a level of stylized I am going for, a bit of idealized, that's what I like to call it, or I think that's the word for it. It's not perfectly realistic, right? It's not a sausage man either way, but like, it's so horrible to try and compare my inspiration to Last of Us when their clothing is like 50 times better than what I'm doing. But I hope you get what I mean, where like looking towards how Last of Us do their cloth is next level. It's really, really good. And they probably do use stuff like Marvelous Designer, but they probably also use ZBrush, you know, to get those wrinkles. So yeah, look towards that. Look at that as reference. If you're trying to make a coat, there's probably a coat that in Last of Us that you could probably just stare at and follow the same kind of quality, you know. I've done that a few times where I've been like, okay, I want to make a character. Why have I stopped moving the camera? What's happening? Have I died? What is happening? What is happening? Oh, I'm back. Okay, I might have gone to the toilet or something. But yeah, no. Yeah, Last of Us. Other resources... I don't know. This video, when I release it, I hope it's helpful. I don't know. I feel like I did this with the intent that like I could have it as a nice speed paint sculpt thing. But I'm not gonna lie, this is like really painful to watch. This is like really hard to watch. Please tell me if this is hard to watch. If it is, I'll do much better of a job next time. So please put in the chat. I will not be offended. Just put, Danduw, this is fucking unwatchable. And I'll try and do a better job next time. Yeah. Another thing as well, like with getting better, I think some people are really good at just like watching videos or looking at pictures to get better and understand how things are supposed to work or look. But sometimes the social aspect is a big thing. And this is not me just saying everyone that watching this message me on Discord or message me or put a comment. But if you generally need advice about how to approach something, just DM me or send it over and I can do a draw over. That's a big thing. I've had some of my best advice has been where they've sent me a draw over of what they think the fold should look like. Like my lead at my job at the moment, Taylor, he does these beautiful, insanely well put together renders of like what my clothing should look like. I'll send him a sculpt and he'll go, oh no, maybe you should change the arm this way. And I'll look at it and go, how the fuck? This looks amazing. So then I can use it as reference. So yeah, if you want to do that, I have a Discord where I talk in there sometimes and people post their work and I give some feedback now and then. Yeah, I'm just saying shit. I don't even feel like what I'm saying is important. I'm just trying to keep some interest going in the video while this zooms past. I'm doing the back at the moment. You can see I've added like quite a prominent wrinkle in the back, just so it's not just completely bland. I probably will go back and fix that a teeny because it feels a bit too much. I like the arms. I like me using the move and mask tool. This is weird. I should have wrote a script or something. I should have done something. This is very awkward. Oh yeah, I'm doing some displacement stuff. I actually talked about it in the speed sculpt and I should have slowed it down, but I pretty much was just saying that like add a bit of displacement in your sculpt. Just literally just get the standard brush and just kind of add little divots of errors, you know, and it makes it just feel a bit more real, as if it's been scanned in rather than just like a sculpt in ZBrush. Goes a long way. Also adding some, what was it called? Memory folds. Memory folds. You'll see me add some memory folds now. Oh, good timing. Yeah, so just adding in these little cuts, which you can use with the damn standard brush. Yeah. Look at that, yeah. And also just helps you with the damn standard. You can just kind of define maybe some of the wrinkles a bit more. There's definitely some parts of this that I hate, but it's fine because I can go in and adjust. That looks okay so far. Yeah. How are you guys doing, by the way? Is everyone? Are you happy, viewer? If you've actually watched up till 35 minutes and 35 seconds, there you go. I hope it's been interesting. I hope you've enjoyed this, and also I hope you've had a good day. And if you are a character artist that's that desperate to learn how I do sculpts and you've gotten this far, then I hope you're doing all right. I hope you've learned something. And if you need to talk to me, hit me up, bro. I'm on Discord. I will happily give some advice. I have been thinking about doing mentorships, but I don't know yet. Because I think that being a mentor, is it mentor, a teacher, you've got to be really confident in what you're talking about. Oh, my phone just had a moment. I don't want to be a teacher for someone without feeling 100% confident in what I'm saying is helpful. But it'd be good. So I don't know if there's anyone out there that I don't know. I'm just saying shit. Oh, look, see, I'm using the H polish just a little before. Oh, God. Oh, all right, bye. Let me move that. Bang, bang, bang. Woo! Yeah! I'm pretty happy with that. Before, after. Before, after. Before, after. See all these details? I'll move away a bit as well so you can see that everything's been sculpted in. Yeah. You know, I think I like the kind of waviness of it. It feels like a thick material. I think when I do get on the cloth detailing, it'll really bring it all together. And a bit of adjustments, a few adjustments here and there. And I think it'll look awesome. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And I will talk to you tomorrow or whenever I post the next video. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.